There is no such thing as heredity, only resonance. How can we help autistic children to communicate and interact without changing them or hindering their natural abilities that, although different, are nevertheless valuable? We thank you very much for your question. Well, to basically answer your question, we would like to ask a question of ours. Do every single one of you understand fully to what we present a majority of the time? Many of you may not. Many of you may need to go back to these recordings and watch them again and again. And some of you may not get at all what we're saying, and you decide to put it on the shelf. Now, do we go ahead and knock on each and every single one of your doors who didn't get it and said to you, did you get it? Why didn't you get it? How come you're not getting this? No. So therefore, that is the reflection we give to you pertaining to working with children, not autistic children. Children. Don't put a label on them. Oh, they're autistic, or oh, they're ADHD, or oh, they're schizophrenic. No. Throw them away. Throw away those labels. You are working with children, and that's it. So, how do you work with children? We're not talking about disabilities, because that's a label of the mind. You are working with a beautiful divine being that is just as divine as you are. And when you see them in that way, you will not need to ask this question. You will know how to present yourself to the child. Not a disabled child, not an autistic child, no, to the child. You will be able to present yourself to them. Just as we present this information to you, and we are not concerned whether you get it or not, so too should be the same relating to your children. You convey yourself in any way that you are feeling you wish to convey yourself to the child. And what you convey is done. How they respond is their call, not yours. Because if you are trying to enforce, then you are basically only leaking your own insecurities upon that child. You do not see their divinity. You do not see their heart. You convey in the way that you feel you convey to the child. And that is all. Just as we convey ourselves to the human beings upon this planet. We're not distinguishing you with different compartmentalized terms. We're not attempting to distinguish you based upon your levels of listening, your levels of understanding. No, we are talking to the divine human beings on this planet, conveying what we share through this instrument. And that's it. We have no expectations of you at all. And that is very much how you should approach your children. Don't give them expectations. But Adronis, should they learn from my mistakes? They can't. How do you expect someone to learn from your mistakes? That's impossible. Because they're your mistakes. They're your experiences. They were your scenarios. You can't expect someone to learn from the mistakes that you had to correct yourself. That's impossible. So, there is no learning from your mistakes other for you to learn from them. Not for your children. They're not you. So that again is a big conundrum that so many on your planet are thinking that that's what they have to do for their children. I just don't want them to make the same mistakes. They can't, because they are their own being. You can always share. You can always suggest. You can always support. But you are not looking to expect them to make the exact same mistakes that you made. That can't be done. There is no such thing as heredity, only resonance. So, when you are resonating constant worry, constant panic, when you are constantly resonating that all of these things that you feel are wrong with your body, and you're presenting that throughout your entire field, they're stepping into the field and they're absorbing that influence. But that is not heredity. That's resonance. Your child looks similar to you because of resonance, not heredity. There's no such thing. You are emitting a field of variances of vibrations. And those variances of vibrations are coming upon an innocent baby that is inside the mother's womb. And because a baby does not know how to object, it does not know how to discern, it will automatically absorb the resonances pertaining to the factors of vibration relating to the mother and the surrounding bodies that are within the alignment of that child. They will soak it in. They will absorb it like a sponge. Has nothing to do with heredity. You have never had anything passed on to you through genetics. You have had everything passed on to you through the allowance of bringing in the absorption of resonance for you to look and behave and act the way that you do. That's how it works. Think of it in this way. There is a mother who just recently got pregnant, and their partner who was responsible for getting them pregnant is not to be found. They went away. They went off into a far-off land. But the mother was able to meet someone brand new. A new relationship forged between the mother and this new partner. And this new partner spent every waking moment with the mother while she was pregnant. As he continued to work together with the mother, 9 months later, when the baby was born, the indications of the certain forms of appearances that the baby poses actually looks closer to the current partner that the mother is now with. This is actually known to happen. Your genetics are basically resonators. And they will resonate, they will absorb the vibrational frequency of the environment, and therefore through the resonance of the environment, they will therefore transmute, they will mutate. And they will actually take on the appearance of that particular partner in the example we give, because that is the one who is spending the most time with the mother, who is sharing his resonance field between the mother and the child. And so when the child is born, it will have some type of physical appearance pertaining to the one who has spent the most time with the mother while she was pregnant. Has nothing to do with heredity. This is where your scientists are confused. Do you know why they're confused? Because they don't include consciousness into their equations. Because they don't include resonance and vibration into their equations. They are looking at the meat and potatoes, the nuts and the bolts of material reality without completely misunderstanding the idea that none of that is actually going to work. You must include resonance. You must include frequency. You must include vibration. You must include consciousness. Otherwise, your science is useless. And that needs to be included because you're not understanding the true essence of life. The material is 0.00000000001% of what actually is. You're missing everything else. You do not realize that you are being intersected by an infinite amount of earths, that you are being intersected by different planes, that vibration is what's making everything pertaining to life happen. There's no such thing as heredity, and there is no such thing as disability. It is all about the nature of one's own characteristics, attributes, and how they decide to conduct themselves. That you are not responsible for any being's well-being. That's their job. You can share, you can support, you can suggest, you can help, you can guide, but you cannot do anything to change a person. Cannot be done. This is why we say, do not look at an autistic child. Look at a child. Do not look at an impaired man. Look at a man. Do not look at a confused person. Look at a person. And then you will understand what we're saying. All right? Thank you for your question.